we're going to go fanboy right now. All year long, because of Aaron Rodgers being in the spotlight.
Yes.
All year long, the famed sketch of you saying Aaron, the teacher that has an interesting sense of names and pronouncing names.
Right.
We created multiple drops of Aaron, where are you, and all of that. I just would love to know the genesis of that set, of that
sketch.
Of that sketch. Yeah, what is that?
The genesis came from Jordan playing Madden. When we were doing our pilot, we were working out of his apartment, and there were days when I would arrive and he'd be playing Madden, and there were days when I would leave and he would as I was leaving, I could hear him turning on Madden.
Yeah.
And he was really obsessed with Madden at the time. And one day during a writing session, he said to me, he goes, "Keegan, do you know that there's a guy who plays for the Jets, the New York Jets, named DeBrickashaw Ferguson?" I went, and I said, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, Jordan." And then I go, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, that guy is the tip of the iceberg. I said, wait till you see some of these college guys' names.
Yes.
And it was his idea. So then I had said to him, when I said, I don't know if you know, but in professional games, when they introduce the lineups for the players, they'll do the little shot of the bust of the guy, and the guy will say his name. He'll say, what position he plays and what school he went to. And Jordan didn't know this. And Jordan goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I was like, "Yeah." So that's how they introduce guys. And I told him about when Charles Woodson said, "Charles Woodson, you know the school." He just said, "You know the school."
He loved that.
And he was like, "We did?" And he goes, on national television, he just said, "You know the school." And then a week later, I can't remember if it was like a few days later. It makes for a better story if I say a few days later.
Sure.
But I feel like it was a week later, or maybe even 2 weeks later, he comes into our office and just sets a script in front of me. And it has Jadinklage Morgoon, La Carpatron Duke Marriott, Jack Marius Tech Theratrix, Quattro. It had all the names in it.
Yeah.
And I think really the only name I added to the script was Dan Smith from BYU.
Which is
you
brilliant.
had to do Dan Smith from BYU.
That is brilliant, of the name and the school that you would associate Dan Smith
Yeah, exactly.
is.
And that's the origin of the sketch. He just one night wrote it. He just wrote it one night and came in with it the next day. Wrote the whole thing. Made up all of those names. It was really extraordinary.
That was the East-West.
That was the East-West
Bowl.
East-West College Bowl, yeah.
The sketch that I was referring to was the one where you're the teacher, where you mispronounced all the names in the
sorry,
class.
Because of Aaron. I'm sorry, because of Aaron. I was thinking about all the other names. I'm sorry.
No, it's all wrong sketch.
No, also very funny.
By the way,
yes,
I wanted to know that story too.
Right?
That's where I would have gone next. But the sketch where you're the teacher calling roll and blowing all the names and getting angrier and angrier at the students. Balake. And
you want to go to war, Balake? Because we can go to war, Balake. Because I don't play. Okay, Balake? Blake. I don't play. Because if you want to go to war, we can go to war. It's so much fun. One of our great writers wrote that sketch.
Yeah.
And I remember we were looking at the sketch and going, "Oh, this is a solid sketch. This is a pretty solid sketch." We had no idea it's solid. Right? Solid. Right. We had no idea it was going to turn into what it turned into. And then we did a Super Bowl special. I can't remember what year it was, but Jordan and I did a Super Bowl special, and we did another East-West Bowl. And we did it with real players. And DeBrickashaw Ferguson did it with us.
Amazing.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Ismaili Kitchen, Frosty Rucker.
Didn't Rodgers do one?
And Rodgers did one. And he actually, this is what he said. He said, Aaron Rodgers. His last name.
That was his?
That was his. He came up with that. Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers.
And then I think he said Butte. Butte Central High School or what?
Well, he went to Butte Community College.
Butte Community College.
That's where Cal found him. That's where Jeff Tedford found him. He was going to Butte.
Butte Community
College. That's a legitimate college that he attended.
So it was a JUCO.
It was a JUCO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Cal found him, and now the rest is history. Now he's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. It was so good.
Where are you?
That's it. I mean, do you have all the drops that we've been playing all year long? The insolent and churlish is one of the funniest lines that
Insubordinate.
Insubordinate
and churlish. That was improvised. I improvised that line. I don't know where I came from. And Aaron Rodgers loves that. Anytime I see him, he just goes insubordinate churlish.
Does he really?
He does. Every time he sees me, he says insubordinate churlish. Every single time I see the guy.
It's a brilliant sketch.
It really, our writers knocked that one out of the park. They really did, yeah.
Balake,
D-Nice.
D-Nice. Oshag Hennessy's office.
That's my favorite.
Oshag Hennessy's your favorite? Yeah.
Principal
And it all starts with Jake Quellen. Yeah. Principal O'Shaughnessy. Jake Quellen.
Jake Quellen.
Do you mean Denise?
Oh, my gosh.
It's good stuff.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.